Hello and welcome to the IleneSilverman Show. I'm your host Ilene, and on this week's program, our guests discuss the Santa Fe College Entrepreneur Incubator and how their CIED program has helped one individual start the Kindness Cookie Company and how she is spreading fortunate messages to our community. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone, but you're not alone. At IAVA.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. IAVA.org. We've got your back.
Rosita, did you know there's a right way to sneeze?
Let's show them, Elmo!
Yeah, got it! When you feel like your nose needs to give it at you, this is how you act, this is what you do.
Lift your arm up high, bend it toward your face.
Sneeze right there in the bendy place.
Achoo!
You can do it with ease.
Achoo!
That's the right way to sneeze.
Thank you!
To learn more about preventing flu, visit flu.gov.
Up to 40% of businesses never recover after experiencing a major disaster. Make a plan at ready.gov/business.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for our program. Santa Fe College Center for Innovation and Economic Development is providing an opportunity for individuals to start up their own business within our community. To tell us more, I'm pleased to introduce my guest, Doug Jones, Associate Vice President, Santa Fe College. And Doug, it's great to have you join us.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Well, there are exciting things happening at Santa Fe College and for our whole community. So tell us first about the CIED, and then we can break it down into its different components.
Okay, great. The CIED is Santa Fe's face in the business community. It's our intentional effort to connect with the chamber, with local businesses, and with the innovation and startup community that's here in Gainesville. Through the CIED, we do our corporate training and our continuing education programs, but also our incubator.
Okay, and tell me more about the incubator, the Entrepreneur Incubator. It's exciting.
It is exciting, and we've had the opportunity over the last 3 or 4 years to work with a little over 100 different companies that are fledgling and startup companies. And the model that we use is we try and remove anything that would be a barrier that somebody has to starting a business. So if somebody has just an idea and they don't even need to have a fleshed out business plan, we'll work with them to do that.
Right.
So they just
can come present that to you.
They come and present.
And where are you located?
We're at the corner of West University Avenue and 6th Street.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And so they come in, we'll talk to them about their idea. We create an environment to where they can get technical support for things that they might not know, advice and guidance from people that have expertise in each of the areas, and a place to do business even.
And you help them decide if this is even a viable idea, if it's something that has a future or not, or
Yeah, we'll begin with with it being something that's interesting and that there's a need for it or a demand for it, and then we transition into making sure that it's something that is sustainable financially. If it can't make money, it's a hobby, and not a business.
And then what is some of the people that work with the incubator to bring that expertise?
We've got access to just a great team of folks that we call incubator resources, who are people from the community here who are successful professionally. That includes attorneys and accountants and public relations folks and grant writing experts and product development folks who will give an hour or so of their time for each of these folks to give them an orientation to what the issues might be, and then from there, more advice if they need it.
Right, but this is valuable. Now you also provide meeting space and all of that it implies. I mean, very high tech.
Absolutely. The CIED is great location, great parking, very flexible space in the building. Our furniture rolls around. We can set rooms up, high tech. It's all wireless throughout, and so it's a nice West University Avenue address.
So people can use that for their mail.
They can use that, yeah. And it it says business,
Yes.
and it gives them that that face in the business community that they want.
Exactly. And then what about, how far along do you get them? And then they sort of take their own running leap?
Right. As early as somebody who just simply has an idea and some notes on a piece of paper.
Okay.
Some folks who have maybe had a business that they've been working on a little bit, it's fledgling, but they can't seem to get the corner turned in terms of taking it to a next level. And then we work with them. Basically, they decide when they've reached a point to where what we're providing for them, that they've gotten what they need.
Right.
Most of our companies are with us maybe 8 months to a year.
Okay. Gives us an idea. Now, what about some of the companies? I mean, first, when we go to your website, there's an awesome list of so many, and there's just so many bright ideas. Do you find people more and more wanting to start their own business? Is that the culture?
Absolutely. I think it's a reflection on two things. One is with the down economy of the past several years.
Exactly.
Now we're moving upward, which is wonderful. But that was the impetus that some folks needed to branch out and start a company.
Right.
And also, I just think even beyond that, we're returning to some of the old American roots of being innovators and inventors, and that's a neat and exciting thing.
I mean, sometimes you would say having your own business, you're going to work longer and harder, but there's a different aspect to it. It is yours.
It is, and you make the decisions and you control where it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, can you name a business or two we might recognize?
Sure. Student Made
Yes.
has over 200 employees now. It's a great group. Corks and Colors is a neat art studio.
I know them.
Citizens Co-op, which is a wonderful grocery store for locally grown foods. Altavian is a technology company that created and flies unmanned drones. We've got Mike Hill Construction. Service
it's
companies.
very diverse.
The nonprofit Center for North Central Florida. A number of companies that are in the nonprofit realm in addition to service companies.
Right. I'm very impressed. And then you do make, once the company's on its own and they need to hire someone, their CPA, attorney, they can kind of use you as a resource also.
Absolutely. Once they've been a part of the program, they're always a part of the program. So even if they're not still incubating, if they need meeting space or, and the beauty of it is they come back as well to help the newer incubating
they
companies.
give back.
They do, absolutely.
It's full circle.
It is.
And I think it's outstanding, and I congratulate you, Doug, and
Thank you.
everyone involved with that at Santa Fe College.
It's fun every day.
I can tell.
Yeah.
And stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back talking about Santa Fe College Center for Innovation and Economic Development, and I'm pleased to introduce Susan Teal, founder of the Kindness Cookie Company. And Susan, I'm glad you've joined us.
Thanks for inviting me, Eileen.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I'm so proud for you for beginning your company and all that it means. And so take us back a little ways to that knock on the door of Doug Jones's office and how this all began for you, your visit to Santa Fe College.
Okay. Well, I had read about the Small Business Incubator and looked at it online, and I said, gee, this is something that I can relate to. I think I could use this help. I have this idea that's been germinating, and I sent a letter to Doug Jones, and he called me, and it was a really interesting story. The Kindness Cookie Company is in partnership with the ARC of Alachua County, which is as you probably know, a nonprofit organization which provides services to people with developmental disabilities in our community.
Yes.
But not everybody knows about the ARC. So of course the first thing I said to Doug Jones is, are you familiar with the ARC of Alachua County? And he said, I'm on the board.
Oh, right then you thought, okay, 2 degrees of separation.
Yes, yes.
We're together.
This and I knew that that meant that he understood the mission of my project and what I
Yes.
was trying to do. So that was easy after
Right.
that.
And then again, as Doug was explaining, they assisted you in all those many ways. And here you are now. And this was how long ago?
I started with the incubator probably in the spring sometime.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now explain the Kindness Cookie Company. Okay. We know it's cookies, and they're big ones and beautiful looking.
Yes.
What
Well, you know
kind?
those delicious homemade chocolate chip drippy warm cookies that you love, and oatmeal raisin cookies. We make gourmet homemade cookies, and the we refers to people who attend the Arc of Alachua County. Individuals with developmental disabilities are our special bakers.
Oh, perfect.
And each of the cookies, this group of cookies in particular, have messages of kindness and different inspirational messages.
Okay.
And we also do promotional messages for businesses or events.
So we could come to you if we were having a special event, whether business or personal, and you can customize
Every
the messages?
message could be a different message in the cookies. Messages can be used to connect people. They can be the primary message in a keynote
Okay,
address.
All
we can
kind,
do
it's
we
an
can do
endless
anything.
idea. Okay.
We can promote businesses. Businesses can put their logo or some message
Right.
that they want to share with the community. But the most important thing is that our initial agenda
Right.
are messages of kindness, kind of like fortune cookies. We call them fortunate cookies.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And now, can it be large orders, small orders? Do you deliver to the person who orders? Okay.
All of the
We're
above. On our
all of the
website,
above.
we have
Yes.
an order form. And so people will order, they can order 100 cookies, 500 cookies, they can order
Okay, good.
a couple batches.
All right.
Yes.
So the Kindness Cookie Company, customized by you with your special bakers, and proceeds now go to the Arc of Alachua
All
County. So it's
proceeds.
really twofold. You're providing opportunity for the young adults and adults there to have something to do, so they have a purpose. They're functioning well and can see the result of something, and that
And
makes
we're-
everyone feel good.
And we're looking to develop employment for people with developmental.
Excellent.
We're a small business, and our hope is to grow exponentially. I would love to have a national brand. I mean, and a
Well,
lot
you
of-
have to think big.
Well, you do.
You do.
And I think a lot of this started because people with developmental disabilities, as many populations, are often dependent on state funding, federal
Yes.
funding, and we've
Oh,
seen
dear.
that get cut and
And
get
cut
cut.
again.
And I was very frustrated with that. And I said, you know what? We're going to get into the market. We're going to come up with a wonderful product, and we're going to generate funds. And I'm hoping, like I said, that we will be providing direct employment for people
For
with
people,
developmental disabilities,
right.
as well as others, in the growth of this company.
Right. And then, so providing the employment and then giving proceeds to benefit the Arc of Alachua County, so that, I mean, it is full circle, so that others can have opportunities there, and we all see how very important that is.
Well, I'm very interested in social entrepreneurship. And
Yes.
I'm pleased as punch that there's a wave of interest, and that there are more and more companies that are
are doing
looking at
this.
how do I provide a product that gives back. And I think
Excellent.
the Kindness Cookie Company, in spreading kindness as well, it's something that
is
I could easily get behind.
You are giving back, and we have a lot more to talk about. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. We're back talking with Susan Teal, founder of the Kindness Cookie Company. And Susan, tell me more about your personal reason for starting the Kindness Cookie Company. Tell me about your family.
I have a son who has developmental disabilities, so I've been very involved since he's 19 now. since he was young with all kinds of advocacy, and that's how I got
Right.
involved with the ARC and my interests in helping people with developmental disabilities.
And a little, okay, tell me about your son, Jacob, about Jake. 19 years ago, he had Down syndrome.
He has Down syndrome,
Yes.
which is a genetic disorder, so he was born with Down syndrome, and he also is on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
So he has some formidable challenges.
Indeed.
And, you know, it's always been a concern because he has more severe challenges. There's all different ranges of people that have intellectual or developmental disabilities.
Exactly.
And so I've always been concerned about where he would be after high school and what kind of
Right.
life. And we do some wonderful volunteer work together. We do Meals on Wheels, and he's fabulous. Everybody
Oh,
looks
everyone must adore him because he
He's-
gives so much love.
well, we say we deliver joy with a little food on the side.
I like it. Perfect.
And so he's really taught me so much about kindness and about connection, about presence. And I started to notice the effects that he seemed to have on people
other
in public.
people, right.
I mean, we're the stars when we go to the grocery store. Where, you know, people really love to see him.
Because he loves them back.
Well, I think there's a real unique openness there, and I wanted to explore that. I knew there was something that had been written about this, and one summer I was Googling the spirituality of developmental disabilities. And most of the things that I came up with are how to teach people with developmental
Right.
disabilities to be spiritual. And I was like, no.
No,
What
that's
is
not
it?
what you want.
What is it that they're teaching us? And I found a just tremendous amount of writings that come out of the L'Arche communities, which is a French word for the ARC.
Okay, so a whole expanded sort of segment of this arc.
Well, it's a similar name.
Is it a
yes,
similar name?
It's a
Okay,
similar
okay,
name.
okay.
The L'Arche communities are sort of a Peace Corps model where people come to provide service instead of being paid to work and live with people with developmental disabilities. They go because they know they're going to learn about life and they're going to learn about themselves and about caring.
So they seek that opportunity out so that they can explore their own inner feelings and receive that inspiration.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the person who founded it is a man named Jean Vanier, and he had written voluminously on the topic of spirituality and developmental disabilities. And he was speaking right to what I was seeing. And so a lot of this, what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring his message to a much broader audience. And I think that's where the idea for the cookies really
Right.
came in, is that we can do these fortunes, these fortunate cookies, and we can bring that message that people with developmental disabilities have something to teach us. They're an
Right.
asset to our community. We often hear that people with developmental disabilities need access to the community. And I've
Right.
always said our community needs access to people with developmental disabilities.
So you're saying we need to look at it another way.
Absolutely.
That is part of the message.
Yes.
And we can receive inspiration from those like your son.